Alright, so yesterday I had the chance to go hands-on with the Galaxy S25 Edge from Samsung. It's the thinnest commercially available phone right now. I spent quite some time with the phone, and in this video I want to share my experience with you guys. These are going to be my first impressions, my first 24 hours with the S25 Edge. Starting off with the unboxing, the box itself is very similar to the rest of the 25 series. You have a silhouette of the phone itself on top, but Samsung has added the edge towards the side to, show how thin this phone is. Lift that lid up and you're greeted with the phone itself, but there is a small compartment which has your SIM ejector tool, documentation, and a USB-C to C cable. Peel that sticker off and it reveals this titanium silver finish on the S25 Edge. There are two other colors. There is titanium icy blue and titanium jet black. Out of the three available colors, the jet black is my favorite. Now, first impressions with the S25 Edge, forget about how thin it is. I was surprised by how light it is. The first time you hold on to the S25 Edge, it's an interesting experience because you just can't feel like you're holding onto a flagship smartphone from Samsung. And I was kind of afraid of dropping the phone because it's really thin, 5.8 millimeters, and also really light, 163 grams. Now on paper, that doesn't seem that light, but you have to hold it. Like you have to walk into a store and pick up this phone to experience that. The weight distribution is really nice. It's basically thinner than the Galaxy Z Fold 6 unfolded. So the display on the S25 Edge is taken from the S25 Plus. It's a 6.7-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X display, so 120Hz refresh rate, Quad HD Plus resolution, and HDR10 Plus support. You've also got 92.1% screen to body ratio. So the bezels on this phone are really thin, and it's a very immersive experience when you're watching content or playing games on this phone. And it's a Samsung AMOLED panel, so the quality is amazing. It gets plenty bright, plenty sharp, colors look good. It's a contrasty panel, so deep blacks, and yeah, overall it's a lot of fun. Now, coupled with the speakers on this phone, the media experience is good, and a bunch of people are actually concerned about the speaker quality on the S25 Edge. I personally, heard the speakers. They're good. They're normal. They don't sound tinny or anything. It's actually a decent experience. Now, talking about the build and design on the S25 Edge, you've got flat sides, flat back, and flat front. But I don't know why they named it Edge. It does have rounded corners though. You've got Gorilla Glass ceramic toe on the front, Gorilla Glass Victus toe on the back, and the side rails are titanium. And the phone feels really well built. It's sturdy feeling, it's really solid. Like even though it's thin, it's not like the iPhone 6s, like where you feel like you can bend it. It actually feels like a premium built device. Everything else remains the same. You've got your power button, volume rockers, which are slightly smaller compared to the normal phones. You've got speakers on the bottom, USB-C port. This is also IP68 water and dust resistant, not IP69, so that's that. Now, talking about battery life, the S25 Edge has a 3900 milliamp hour battery. And here's my real life experience. I started using the phone at 55%, like out the box. I set it up, started using the camera, did my testing, shot all my footage, played some YouTube videos, did the performance tests and everything. And at the end of my day, which was like 5 to 6 hours of recording this video, I still had about 25% left, which isn't bad. Now the S25 Edge is gonna have worse battery life compared to the other S25s, but it's not that bad. One thing Samsung could have done is used a silicon carbide battery, which would have given them significantly more battery life, but they didn't. This is still a lithium-ion battery. Now, charging speeds aren't anything to brag about either. You've got 25 watt wired and 15 watt wireless. There's some companies who are doing 150 watts, 200 watts fast charging. I think Samsung really needs to up their fast charging game and even, start using silicon carbide batteries. Talking about performance, the S25 Edge gets you the Snapdragon 8 Elite CPU with 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 or 512 gigabytes of UFS 4.0 storage. Performance, let me tell you, is not an issue on this phone. You've got One UI 7 and below that is Android 15. You have a bunch of bloatware pre-installed, just like other Samsung devices. But apart from that, One UI is really fast. RAM management is great. Like you could open one app and leave it in your recents, come back 3 hours later and you'll still find that app just like that. Like nothing has changed. It doesn't restart. So RAM management is good. Multitasking feels really good on the S25 Edge. It's a big display. It's just really fun to use in my opinion. Like it feels like the Galaxy S25 Ultra without a stylus and just thinner. So that's that. Performance is good, software is fine, and overall my experience with the S25 Edge was good. Now talking about cameras, you have the 200 megapixel main sensor with f1.7 aperture from the S25 Ultra, and you have a 12 megapixel ultra wide. Personally, I think Samsung should have gone with a 50 megapixel or 48 megapixel ultra wide, because when you come from the main camera to the ultra wide, there is a huge difference in the sharpness and detail of the photos. And there is, of course, that color shift that happens. Samsung has tried their best to minimize that, but here are photos from the S25 Edge from both the cameras, and I've also shot daylight samples as well as low light ones, just to give you guys, the quality reference. Another thing, the S25 Edge does not have a telephoto camera. So basically the 10x zoom is digital. It's basically zooming into that main 200 megapixel sensor. If you do use that 10x, there is noise. It's not as detailed as the Ultra. Again, it's very obvious you don't have a dedicated tele lens, so the quality does degrade when you zoom in. Cameras are not bad if you're just using the main sensor at 1x or 2x, and the ultra wide is meh. I would say they should up the resolution a bit. It also has a 12 megapixel selfie camera, and in terms of video, you can shoot 4K as well as 8K. They've not, stripped down any of the camera features, so that's good. And overall, my first impressions on the S25 Edge is it doesn't feel like a special phone. Like, I really like the design, and it's thin and really light, but that's the end. Like, you can't sell a phone in 2025 just because it's thin, just because it's light. People are okay with thicker devices if it gets them more performance or more battery life. Another thing that I want to mention, which I forgot to mention in the performance area, is that the S25 Edge does have some heating. Like when you use camera a lot, or when you're doing heavy tasks, running benchmarks, playing games, it does heat up around the camera area, so that's something. And again, this makes sense because it's a thinner device. There is less headroom for cooling here, so the thermal performance is also inferior compared to the other S25 devices. These are just my first impressions, my honest thoughts with the Galaxy S25 Edge. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. A huge thanks to the Samsung store in Ramamurthy Nagar, Bangalore for getting me the phone for this video. And yeah, check out their details if you're interested in buying any Samsung devices. They have the best offers, the best deals. All the accessories, phones are available in their store. I'll leave links down below, contact, address, Google Maps location. All of that is going to be there. So check them out. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you guys don't miss out on the full review. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.